This is a new free BeamNG mod that brings the Škoda Superb to the game. With a name like Superb, you'd expect this car to be pretty good, but let's take it for a test drive to find out. This is the latest mod by FastLane. They're a very well-known real-world car mod creator. They've released things like the Dacia Sandero in the past, and this is a free mod that's just released on Coffee. It's the second generation Škoda Superb, built between 2008 and 2015. This is the sedan variant. There isn't a wagon version in the mod just yet, but it's a large family car. You could almost call it a budget executive car. The interior is very high quality. I really like the quality of the texture work and the modeling, and over here we've got a digital display, very clear gauges, really nice interior here. Openable doors all the way round, quite a bit of trunk space, including a bit of lighting in there so you can see what's in the trunk. And under the hood of this base active model, we've got a 1.4 litre turbocharged petrol engine. So, driving the Škoda Superb. Now, this straight 4 engine is pretty weak, only 120 horsepower, but luckily there are lots of different engines and trim levels in the mod. Now, we're in Italy, which I guess is home territory for this car. Are Škodas even sold outside Europe? I'm not sure, I doubt it, but with a 6-speed manual gearbox and actually pretty good handling for a front-wheel drive big saloon car like this, I'm impressed. The Superb has always been one of my favourite cars, and even a couple of generations of Superb down the line today, I still think the Superb is great. That turbocharged engine is just about giving us enough overtaking performance. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah, I was completely in control of that situation. Okay, then it's time for a crash test. Let's find another traffic car to hit. 90 kilometers per hour into a Wendover. Okay, real-world car models never have the best quality crash model, but that's quite nice. All the bits have fallen off. Not much deformation. This is a very strong car. There are 65 configs in this mod. FastLane has a reputation for adding a lot of configs into their mods, and we've got lots of different engines. I think there's 7 different engines across 5 trim levels. We've also got service vehicles like taxis and police cars. To show you some of this car's interactive features and the amazing interior, I've skipped ahead to the Lauren and Clement. This is the highest spec Škoda Superb. It's like the luxury model. I don't like the brown paint, but these wheels are very nice. Now, Lauren and Clement were a Czech car manufacturer in about the 1920s, and then Škoda bought them, and today they're just used as a name for Škoda's luxury versions of their cars. So, interior features. First of all, if you open the door with the lights and the engine on, listen to this. That is a noise very familiar to anyone that's owned a Volkswagen in the last 25 years. You've got this warning beep, this warning chime, and then on the dashboard it shows which door is open. So if I open this one, I love that. Really nice feature. Also, when you start the engine, watch this. The gauges fly up and down just like in the real car, and the ignition and starter sound is taken from a real-life Škoda. We've got interior lighting all the way around. You can turn them on manually, or when you open the doors, they do turn on. On this controls list, you can see some of the seat controls, and we can move the front seats forward and backwards. We can tilt the backrest forward and backwards. You can also do the same for the passenger seat. You can put the sun visors down by clicking and holding there, and they have a little mirror that actually works, then middle click to put it back up. We've also got a dimmable mirror. Alt and H dims it. There is a slight glitch going on here, but this mod will be updated in the future, so it might be fixed. But yeah, dimmable mirror. Never seen that before. Then there's an openable glove box, which has some documentation for the car in there. We've also got an armrest storage space, and even a little cubby hole for your sunglasses. Look at that. I chose the Lauren and Clement model because this one has an openable sunroof. I love mods with sunroofs, and to close it, it's middle mouse button. Perfect animation on that. You can turn on or off the sat-nav screen, and we have a radio that actually works. It's Alt and right arrow key. Whoa. It's pretty loud. Oh, turn it down, turn it down. Whoa. Now, those songs aren't copyrighted. They're from the YouTube music library, but you can actually import your music into the mod and play it through the car. So let's drive the Lauren and Clement. This has a 2-litre TDI engine and all-wheel drive. It's actually pretty fast. 168 horsepower isn't bad. The big question is, though, is this really a luxury car? I've always kind of considered it as a luxury car, but it's actually classified as a large family car, a large family sedan. I'd love to know what you think in the comments, but I'm sure that many of you have never seen one of these in real life. I don't think Skoda even sell them in North America. Underneath, this is really a Volkswagen. You know, we've got the TDI engine from a Passat in here, and the DSG gearbox is definitely from VW. It's quite funny with a lot of Skodas, you can actually peel off the Skoda badge on the engine cover, and it's just a VW badge underneath. Most of the engines are pretty similar, but this 2-litre TDI does seem like a good balance. A lot of the Skoda Superbs are going to have this exact engine. It's a very smooth power delivery. Put it into 6th gear, and it's a nice, quiet, comfortable cruiser. Does the 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive make a difference? Well, whoa, I had ESC off then, but can we power out of this? Whoa, I don't know. It doesn't feel like the power is being applied. Oh, look. We've got a reversing cam. Yeah, it doesn't feel like the power is being applied equally to all 4 wheels. It is all-wheel drive, after all. If I rev it up, let's see what the start is like. Yeah, bit more power going to the front wheels, I think. So here's a sample of some of the different trim levels. We've already seen the Active. That was the first car we tried out, and that's the base model. And the L and K, the Lawrence and Clement, that was the highest spec model. But we've got the Green Line, which is a trim level dedicated to economy. 1.9-litre TDI engine tuned for fuel economy, only 104 horsepower. On the interior, it's slightly more basic. All the different configs and trim levels have different interior styles. We have a different radio head unit. This thing, I remember having it in a Golf. It's like the most basic one you could get, I think. This is the mid-range trim. It's called the Ambition. Slightly nicer interior with a touch screen radio. And finally, there's the Elegance. This is the highest spec model apart from the L and K, and this is the pre-facelift model. The Superb is also available in right-hand drive. It's the UK spec car. Look at the steering wheel in this one. It's slightly different again, and we've got the sat-nav down here. You can turn it on and off, just like in the L and K. But also, both this and the L and K have cornering lights. You can see the fog lights light up when we're cornering. That's really good for illuminating the curbs. Skodas have been a favourite vehicle of choice for taxi drivers for a very long time, and this mod does represent taxis quite well with 5 different liveries. We've got a Czech taxi, a Berlin German taxi, an Irish taxi, a Romanian taxi, and a Bolt taxi cab. Let's drive the Romanian taxi, and on the interior we have a little phone on a mount here, and if I press Alt and P you can change it between sat-nav mode and the basic Android home screen. Quite nice as well, we have a taxi meter here which basically calculates the fare as you drive, and by pressing Alt plus T you can change the taxi light mode. Green for unoccupied, you know, hire me, or red to say don't get in, there's already someone in here. Now it's got to be that no-nonsense approach that Skoda have to marketing and selling their cars that really appeals to taxi drivers. You know, these are relatively reliable, relatively cheap vehicles with loads of room in the back there. Lots and lots of, whoa, good thing signs aren't collidable in this game. Loads of legroom in the back and loads of trunk space, so you could use it for like taking people to the airport or any real taxi job. Also, I think this mod has some of the most realistic feeling electronic stability control I've ever experienced in a BeamNG mod. It doesn't cut in too much so that you stop having fun, but if I push it into this corner pretty fast, whoa! It kind of got me out of that sticky situation by applying the right amount of brake, and yeah, that was a safe cornering maneuver. Hang on a minute. Look. That is going up. Does the taxi meter actually work? Yeah, it just went up to 3.30. It feels like every kilometre it goes up about 50 cents. So not only can we count the trip down here and the number of kilometres we've driven, but it actually works, the taxi meter. I love that. I've never seen that before, but it must have been in another mod before now. Throughout Europe, the police also quite like using Skodas. We've got a Slovakian police car, a German police car, and a Czech police car, and I've got to say the Czech police livery is very similar to what we have in the UK. Inside we've got some quite nicely modelled police equipment. We've got what looks like the siren control, some kind of CCTV camera for the rear seat so you can see what the crims in the back are doing. I think that's a police radar to track the speed of other vehicles, and then we've got the display here. Not sure it works, but it's nice it's included. Now all the police cars have the DSG gearbox. It's really rapid to change gear. I mean, it's got that double clutch technology which makes it incredibly rapid, but then you can also move it into manual mode and control the gears yourself. It's a really nice gearbox, and yeah, to be honest, I like manuals, but DSG, I'd take that any day over a manual. This is the road trip config. It's got a few cool details, such as the cargo box on the roof. I think you can open it from the back, and we've got some luggage in there. This is just a default BeamNG feature, but that also means this mod does support cargo boxes. Unfortunately, the mod doesn't let you put cargo boxes in the trunk right now, but you can put cargo boxes in the back and on the passenger seat, and of course in the box or just on the roof rack. The road trip config also has the phone down there, and we have a Ness Cafe mug on the dashboard. I love that little detail. Now this config has the all-wheel drive drivetrain, so let's see if it can do a little bit of off-roading. Just got the 2-litre diesel engine, but it does have a lot of torque, so it should be pretty good. Now unfortunately, induction system damage. What happened there is we hit the ground with quite a lot of force, but this is not a raised up car. It just has all-wheel drive. That's it. That's all the modifications for off-roading. Well, it's got lots of grip, and it's taking the bumps pretty well. Oh, handbrake turn. Oh, so near. Oh, come on, turning circle, not quite good enough. So in general, I'm actually quite impressed with the all-wheel drive. It seems to do a good job off-road. Let's go over these rocks. Yep, that didn't phase it at all. It's not an off-roader, but if you have to go over dirt, this car isn't bad. And you know what? Now we're up here, we might as well come down in spectacular fashion. Here we go! Off the side of the mountain. Whoa! Into a tree. Ooh, yeah, that is one squashed Superb. The higher end models are available with an engine called the 3.6 FSI, and that is a V6. In fact, it's a 3.6 litre VR6 engine. Yes, the same engine that was used in things like the Golf R32 and the Porsche Cayenne. And it sounds, well, just like a V6 really, but 256 horsepower. This is by far the most powerful variant. But is it sporty? Well, let's find out. Now we've got the DSG again. I'm going to turn off the ESC, and we've got the all-wheel drive. Whoa. Well, it's quick. 0 to 60 is about 6.2 seconds. Whoa, okay. There's quite a bit of body roll in this car, but it's got plenty of power on the flat, and I do like that noise. So the handling is quite good. Can I push it into the corner? Whoa. Brakes are not bad either. Look, the Skoda Superb is never going to be a sports car, but if it wants to compete with things like BMWs and Audis, I mean, you could get like a BMW 3 Series or a Skoda Superb for the same money, and you're getting a lot more car for your money with a Superb. So it's not a BMW, but I'd say actually it competes with things like Audis and the larger Volkswagens in terms of handling. Whoa, turning circle, come on. Oh, let's do a top speed test on the highway. I want to see what this thing can achieve. We're kind of capping out at 185 kilometers per hour. I'd expect it to go a little bit faster than that. I was expecting more like 250, because that's 155 miles per hour, which is what most German cars at least are limited to. Whoa, but it does handle pretty well on the highway. Very easy to keep in control while you're weaving like that. Push it into this corner. Yep, it really does grip pretty well. Whoa, yeah. Wow, the high-speed stability is good. And it's now time to take the Skoda Superb around the West Coast USA racetrack. This is the 3.6-litre Lauren and Clement model, the highest spec car in the mod. And I love this cream or beige seating. Really, really nice. And we've got an old-style handbrake. Wow. Okay, ESC off. We're in sport mode and off we go. Now, I'm not expecting this to be like a race car, but it should be able to keep up with some of the other big saloon cars or sedans I've driven in the past on this track. Okay. Oh, that's not good. Bad start, a lot of understeer, but good power out of the corner. So it's very easy to predict what is happening to the car because you're shifting that weight around. I think this car weighs 1.8 tons, which is quite a lot. The brakes are pretty good. ABS kicks in well. Oh, the understeer is crazy though. I think it'd be even worse with the front-wheel drive models, but the rear wheels don't really have much power going through them, which doesn't help. Oh, with the understeer, it's like soft all-wheel drive in a way. Doesn't really kick in that much. Onto the long straight. And to be honest, 256 horsepower, it feels quite slow. At this higher end, it feels really slow because we do not have a turbocharger. Imagine a VR6 engine with a twin turbo on it. That would be a serious machine. Over the crest, doing quite well. Brakes. Brakes probably a bit too early there. Pushing it in. Okay, uphill. Go. Oh, you can feel the lack of torque. But we are accelerating pretty well up to the corkscrew corner. Right, carry as much speed as possible. Don't want to lose it. That was a good speed round there. Okay, into the corkscrew corner. Brake, turn in. That understeer! That understeer's crazy! And oversteer on the way out. Whoa, we didn't hit the apex there at all. One more time, let's see if we can get it right. Brake here, turn in, clip the corner. Just about held on there. I think we were slightly outside the track limit, but if you take it at the right speed, it's not bad. Just a little bit understeery. So the Skoda Superb. I really like this car. I'd even consider, owning one in the future. But let me know what you think of the mod in the comments down below. And I've left a link to it in the description. It's on Coffee. Just put 0 in if you want to get the mod for free. And if you'd like to see another Skoda mod for BeamNG, click the video on the left. It's a Skoda Octavia mod. And if you'd like to see more of FastLane's amazing mods for BeamNG, click the playlist up the top right. That's every single one of my videos on FastLane's mods. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.